Hello and welcome back to SRB Gaming and another episode of Kerbal Space Program today. And I'm launching a base to why do I keep saying series? DRES, the series analog in KSP. Our base, the first module, which you'll see right now, has a 5 Kerbal capacity, and we are testing out the KAS, Kerbal Attachment System, Near Future Propulsion and Electric mods. Near Future Electric adds the nuclear reactor and the 3 radiators you see glowing red. Near Future Propulsion adds the highly efficient hydrogen engine we are using to land on the surface, and KAS offers the boxes on the side which will allow us to bolt our base down. And as you can see, the center of mass is extremely high on this lander, which means it's really unstable, and you'll see later in the video that causes a lot of problems. I crash and tip over a lot. And then I also found out that the KAS boxes, which were meant to hold supplies to strap it down to the surface and bolt it in place, were empty due to a vehicle assembly building glitch. And I couldn't fix that, so I had to send a resupply. But anyway, what you're seeing now is the landing, and then you'll see that I first crashed, and I left that explosion in there just because what's KSP without explosions? They're nice. And then I land like 10 or 11 times, over and over, bouncing or landing or quick saving and all sorts of quick loading and bouncing, until eventually I just got so fed up because I kept landing on really uneven surfaces, and this stupid thing could not stand up even with SAS, and I realized I should have made a more conventional lander. But I mean, the plan was to bolt it down, but you gotta land first. Eventually I just got so fed up I let MechJeb just land. I pushed land somewhere and I watched, and I was sure it would crash, and it landed on a really inclined surface, but it was slightly less inclined than the ones I was landing on, and it managed to stay upright. And then I did use time warp to make it stop moving, and then it barely survived the landing. And at this point, when it got to this, which you'll see in the video, basically anything would tip it over, including a Kerbal bumping into it, and I didn't have the supplies to bolt it down. So I went back to the vehicle assembly building. I built a new probe. It was powered by a quad Hall effect thruster argon gas from Near Future Propulsion, great mod. Had its own reactor for powering, and just a Probe 9 core probe. And it was much easier to land, and it didn't even have to land properly. It just had to get down on the surface. But anyway, I brought it back. I got it to the awesome thing about having landers with these near future propulsion parts, they're really tall and unwieldy, but at the same time, you can have the transfer stage and the landing stage exactly the same, which is really cool, and that's what I've been doing. Anyway, the probe landed about 1.5 kilometers away, and then I had to retry to get it closer, so I brought it about 300 meters away on the other side of a hill. I figured that was fine, and the probe did crash, so I couldn't land it again. Anyway, I got a Kerbal out of the tower, really careful not to tip it. Ran him over to the resupply ship, which now had fully stocked KAS boxes with bolts, pipe ends, pylons, everything I might need. Ran him over there, grabbed a box, ran all the way back, came back, grabbed a pylon, came all the way back, and then I put down the pylon and bolted the base to the ground, and then I tested it with SAS, and I cannot tip it over even if I tried. So, successful first module of the DRES base has landed and is now bolted down. Anyway, I then decided to send the second module, which you'll see at the end of the video. This was much smaller. It was using argon, higher power than the quad Hall effects, but less power than this hydrogen one at the beginning. And it was much more stable. You'll see, I mean, more compact, just better in general. Had a cupola module on top, so just one Kerbal, but I brought some science instruments along with it. And more KAS stuff, because that's always good. You can bring like chairs and supports and stuff. I brought that back, and landing was great. Landed right next to it, so I bolted it to the main base, and now we got a 2-module DRES base. And this video is not necessarily in sync with what I am saying, but yeah, thought you'd like to see. Anyway, thanks for watching. As we wrap it up, I'm just going to say that, well, the normal, pitch, subscribe if you like the video, comment, blah blah blah, and I'm going to be starting a real solar system series soon, which, if you don't know, it's a mod that adds the real solar system, which is 10 times, the planets are 10 times bigger than the actual KSP ones, which means that it requires like 10,000 meters per second delta V just to get into orbit. It's insane. Anyway, I'm planning like a, Mars base, yeah. I'm hoping to do that, if I can get into orbit. Anyway, thanks for watching, subscribe, comment, goodbye.